Always. We got a lot to do today. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So, well, damn. I hope this shit still works. That's unfortunate. My mic fell. The casing broke off of the mic. Oh, that's so unfortunate. It looks like it's still glowing. So we're about to find out firsthand if the mic still works. I severely hope so. We'll try that again. So, long story short, we have a lot of work to do with the charger. It is currently May 7th. June 13th is Grid Life. And I want to take the charger for the first time ever. So we got a lot of work to do. As you can see, it's all gray. This is all primer that I did last year. It has been parked outside all winter over here by my garage. It was supposed to be kept in the garage all winter after primering it, so it would stay nice and clean primer. But we pulled it out to do some work in the garage, and it just never got moved back in. So it's absolutely filthy right now, and some of the edges are a little rusty. Luckily, this is getting cut off when I do the over fenders, which is the sneak peek for today's video. We are going to get this bad boy cleaned, completely cleaned, like spotless, and then we are going to mock up and hopefully put on the over fenders today. So you guys are wondering what it's like to have a car sit. That's how hard I have to push to open that door. Yeah, she's rough. So we're gonna get active today. Go bring this bad boy and get it clean. Feels like I'm driving a fucking tractor. Holy. Brakes aren't that bad. They're a little squishy, but it's not horrible. It's been weird wanting to drive this thing compared to the Beamer, and then getting in it and feeling the interior compared to the Beamer. Night and day difference. We need to clear out this space in the garage a little bit so we can pull the charger in here. We're gonna mock up at least the rear over fenders today. Look at this light though. I spent last weekend putting up these LED lights. So I actually have good lighting instead of just these two rinky-dink ass bulbs on each side. Yeah, let me clear out this space here. Probably leaf blower out the garage so it's nice and clean. We'll do those rear over fenders. Basically, I just need to get this lined up to where I think it looks good for the back. Doesn't necessarily have to fit any specific area. Put this tape up just a little bit more. There we go. This shit looks good back here. All right, so this is where we are at right now. I'm gonna drill the holes in the fender, like in the flare, just like straight through where they're supposed to go. Maybe with like self tappers or something. It'll leave all the marks down for everything, but there's clearance right here in the front, clearance in the back. Makes it look more like fender to lip. And I think, so I do have spacers to go in the back here, 1-inch spacers that'll bring my wheel to like here. So it should still be good. Shouldn't hit at all. I might have to roll this fender up in here. Maybe. But there's not too much movement here on the rear. All right, so this is what the first flare looks like with it being completely mocked up. The height is pretty much perfect. I think it gives the exact look I was going for from the rear. I just need to get that spacer in there, get that wheel poking out a little bit. Not mad at that. I haven't put in the actual rivet things yet. This is still just the self-tappers. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side and get this side all set up too. And then I've run into a small issue. I have no clue how I am supposed to cut this fender so the door can still open. I know obviously I'm going to cut along the body line so the door can open. I don't know with what. I don't have anything that cuts things besides like I have a saw, like an actual hand saw, and I have razor blades, but I don't have like a sawzall or yeah, I don't really have anything that I can like get a clean cut through. I don't have a Dremel. And those are purchases I probably need. All right, I need to add this to my shopping list: a Dremel and a sawzall. I think I'm gonna go buy the sawzall like right now, because I'm gonna need it. I mean, I guess technically I don't need it anytime soon, but I would like to do it prior to painting it. I don't know. I might just go get a sawzall right now. Say fuck it. That's what it's looking like this way. That's what it's looking like in the back. And then this is where all the people with professional car builds cry and wince, because now I'm going to send in these self-tappers again. Just like I did on the other side. Ooh. I don't have a correctly sized bit. When I go get a when I go get my what's it called, I'll do that too. All right. Get in there, buddy. Boom. We're officially drilling holes in this motherfucker. See, I think a lot of people are probably nervous about sending holes through their car. But I realistically have been doing permanent changes to this car for a long time. Like I've been doing irreversible things to this car since the summer after I got it. All right, now that they're both up, I'm going to run into town and get a fucking cutter machine. I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So I was coming around to get my keys for the Beamer, and this is all coolant where my Charger was just parked. So we're gonna have to figure that out for sure. I'm gonna go get my keys for the Beamer. But that's not what we want to see. So, oh shit, I have to go through the other door. So before we go anywhere, let's pop this hood. Oh shit. See what we got cracking. All right, not seeing any. Okay, wait a second. This is where all my coolant is supposed to be. Looking pretty empty in there. Don't see any fluid like leaking from any of this. I don't see any fluid coming from like the thermostat housing or on the belt. I'll go underneath real quick and look at the radiator. I don't see anything. There's some drips underneath the car down towards the middle. I don't know if you guys can see those wet spots. They're like towards the middle of the car. So I'm gonna top off all this coolant here. I'm gonna grab some of that too when I leave. So I need to go get coolant and a Sawzall and maybe a Dremel. Yeah. All right, all in all, doesn't look too rough. I think this side's definitely a bit worse. The gap is, it's not that big overall, but what I can say about this side is the rear edge kind of sticks up past the front ledge, so you can like kind of see there, where it's like a little bit sticking out. I'm not sure how I'm gonna remedy that. I'm gonna try to figure that out. But it doesn't do it on the other side. So similar gap size, which you know is nice, but this side doesn't stick out in front of the other one. It's like pretty flush, so I do like that. I think this looks pretty good. This is gonna be the pretty side. I was diddling around with the car because I'm like, man, this kind of sucks. I'm like, it's coming from way too far back for it to be, you know, a major issue. It's got to be something with one of the hoses. And I start reaching around, and there she goes. She's fucking pissing anytime I move that. So I'll replace this T-fitting here. I've had to replace this before, actually. It's like a little $30 hose, I think, if I remember correctly. Little clip here, and then this big fat hose connects right down in here and comes up to the front. So before, if I'm not mistaken, I was able to just buy the T piece and then these kind of slide in. So if I'm not mistaken, I was able to buy just the T piece before, and then like the hoses just slide in. But I might need to, it might be one big old piece and I have to route the little hose down all the way here to the rad. Either way, I figured it out and it's not expensive. That's all I want. I did get the front flares on. I still need to put the weather stripping behind them. It will close up some of these gaps, along with taking out the self-tappers and putting in the actual rivet hardware. Will keep it a little bit more flush as well. So the next step is gonna be taking these off, cutting out the arches in here, and hitting it with like a rust coating so it doesn't rust up in here, and then get my other front wheels on. But as you can see, it does clear. It looks like it is pretty like Fender to lip, and it's also going to come out. My normal wheels that are up here are 20 by 11. These are 20 by 9.5, I think. So I'm going to have another like 1.5 inches outward this way once I actually get them on. That should look pretty good, but doesn't look too bad. It just needs to come out a little bit more. Like overall, it doesn't look horrible. Like I said, I do need to get the spacers on the rear. They're 1-inch spacers, so this gap will be pretty cleaned up. Not too bad. Doesn't look awful. You know, we kind of take it as we can go with these builds, because I do everything myself. 3 days later, and we have the correct hose. Time for me to get my pliers and get this bad boy in there. I was trying to show you guys on video that it was snapped like here or whatnot. But holy shit, dude. I had to rip it into pieces to get it out. It was so stuck. But it's all out. I'm about to put the new one in. I think I only need to take one. Oh no, I need to take two of the clamps off, and then the rest of them should just fit. You know?